Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here for a Married to Medicine review. It is super late because, as you guys know, I have been in Los Cabos, Mexico for 4 glorious nights and 5 glorious days, and yeah, your girl had to recoup. I didn't get back until Monday. I've already dropped not Married to Medicine. I've dropped Real Housewives of Atlanta earlier this morning. It's getting like 0 oh my gosh, 0 views, honey. But if I lived and died by those views, I would be dead and gone by now. So I know that people are going to be trickling in and watching the videos sporadically here and there, so I'm not worried. And I owe you guys 2 videos. You guys will get 2 videos whether you like it or not, darling, whether you want it or not. New to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe, become a member of the tribe. Hit the notification bell so you know when I drop new videos. Don't forget to thumbs up. It's like saying, hey, Miss Honey. Don't forget to comment down below. Married to Medicine, Season 7, Episode 13, Swap Till You Drop, is the last couple of days in Cabo San Lucas. Now, I was in Puerto Los Cabos, which is a resort that's about 45 minutes from Cabo San Lucas. Mexico is absolutely beautiful. The hospitality is really great. They need to work on the drinks, though. We'll talk about that in the Mexico video that is also coming out today. Okay, so let's talk about this episode. Now, I neglected to mention the strip club conversation from last week between Heavenly and Dr. Damon, and the only reason I regret it is because I didn't get to do my Dr. Damon voice. Buddy, come on, buddy. Oh, buddy, I don't remember, buddy. I don't know, buddy. Maybe, buddy, I'm not sure, buddy. That's the only reason I regret it. The whole way that Dr. Heavenly is acting is less than great. What is funny is that everybody was really afraid for Dr. Damon. Like, they did not want her current attitude and mood to continue because they knew it was going to be detrimental to the trip. So all of the guys kind of rallied around Damon and said, yeah, he didn't really want to go. We forced him, yada, 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 the whole 9. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But at the same time, I too felt as though we needed to offer some hedge of protection for Dr. Damon because Buddy was about to castrate some nuts, okay? She was about to take some nuts, okay, in her teeth, and he is not allowed to do anything, okay, anything without her permission, without her express permission. All right, so then we see the doctors giving back. They do this for every trip. They go to a clinic that serves the underserved in the community, and they take blood pressures and look at ailments and do some preliminary diagnosis. It's always great. It's always fun. I am starting to believe that Jackie thinks that she is the world's savior. At this point, it would be easier if Curtis would let her have a child. It would be easier if she got a surrogate and had her own child. At this point, I think it would create a level of humility in Dr. Jackie that is much needed. And it may solve the issue of her being super, super busy, because as a mom, you have to do things a little bit different. You can't be at the office all times of the day and all times of the night, and your child just be out there whipping in the wind. You know what I mean? So I think it's worth thinking about Curtis. I'm just gonna be honest about it. So they did that, and then their last day there, they do couples games. They did booty and balls, which is a little box that the ladies tied on their butt, and then they had balls in there, and they had to bounce the balls out, and the men had to put them in the bucket, and whoever did picked them up first and bounced them out first and picked them up first and put them in the box first was the winner. I think it was Mariah and Aiden. They won. Contessa and Scott won in their group, and Quad and a stranger Diego won in their group. Then they did like this kind of wife swap things, and I call it backs and balls, where the couples were interchangeable. I think now Simone was picking it, and she was being messy, so she put Curtis and Buffy together, Quad and Aiden together. It went along those lines, you know. And I forget who won that, but it was good-natured fun. Everybody seemed to have a good time. They had lunch ready for them on the beach, a beautiful setup, some really great food. They got to talking about strip clubs and swinging and sex clubs, and Contessa accidentally went to one, and it was good convo. It was regular couples convo. Like, it was easy breezy. It wasn't a lot of animosity. It wasn't a big deal. We learned that Damon and Heavenly had a lot of sex while they were in Cabo San Lucas, which is appropriate. It's a great place to have sex. And then Damon really kind of cornered himself into sex with Heavenly on a daily basis because he made her feel a little insecure about herself. So of course you have to overcompensate by doing the most and talking about it and letting people know that we are still actively connected together sexually. It's hilarious to me. I find it amusing. So everybody gets back home. Oh, no. Before we get back home, they later on go to the Day of the Dead dinner, where the men wore, like, one side of their face was like a dead, and the other side of the face was living, and the women wore their Day of the Dead. You know, it's this whole colorful skulls and type thing that goes on in Mexico. They sell a lot of those skull souvenirs in different forms. I'm really not into that. And it's kind of difficult to make me be into it. They paint the skulls beautifully. Everything is artistically done, but it's just not appealing to me. I don't know. Anyway, so Simone does a letter to Cecil because last year when they were having quite a few issues in their marriage, she was supposed to write a love note, and she kind of half-assed it. And so now she's rewritten it, and it's really just full of thank yous and thank yous and thank yous and thank yous. Thank you for giving me beautiful sons and smart sons. And she says, going forward, we need to ask ourselves, what would love do? And, you know, she put some thought into it. He liked it. I loved it. We'll all move forward. She also says the Day of the Dead dinner represents burying something and resurrecting something. And she goes, we only get 3 responses on camera. Buffy said she wants to bury pettiness and resurrect empathy. Jackie says she wants to bury toxic friends and resurrect authentic friendships. And it seems like it's directed towards Buffy. Simone kind of confirmed it when she said she believes that Buffy should just leave the new Dr. Jackie be. Like, let the new Dr. Jackie do her. Don't try to be friends with her because it ain't gonna work. Like, basically, Dr. Jackie, even with all her teas and lemon squeezes and girlfriend 101 codes and all this other stuff, she can't find her way clear to have actual forgiveness for Buffy, even though she was wrong AF. Okay, AF. All right. She has no forgiveness. She has no leeway for forgiveness. So now she'll be cordial. She'll be fake, but actual genuine forgiveness over something you did, over something you caused. Like, Jackie. Ooh, I'm not liking you this season at all. Heavenly chimed in, and she wanted to bury strip clubs and all of that. I have yet to see any true genuineness from Heavenly. even when she called herself being mad at Dr. Damon for going to the strip club, to me, it wasn't genuine. I think the attitude she gave the producer in the confessional last episode and the attitude she gave the girls, I think that was genuine. I think she is genuinely insecure. Okay, I do believe that. But she just doesn't take that drive. She doesn't ever take a drive down a street where she may even remotely possibly be flawed in any way. She just doesn't do it. Okay, and that is a shortcoming of Dr. Heavenly that I find personally to be a turnoff. I can't really go 100 into liking her. Um, that's just me. That's just me. That's just how I feel about the situation. I think she is a huge overcompensator, and I stand by that. So whatever. And I know that Dr. Heavenly is doing her own reviews and stuff on YouTube. They get great numbers, great reviews. She shout people out here. To me, I think that's great. I think that's wonderful. At the same time, it's such a Dr. Heavenly thing to do. Like, it's such a Dr. Heavenly thing to do. Yeah. Yeah. Even if you're not included, you include yourself, right? Okay, so whatever. Back at home, we see Jackie and Curtis. Like, everybody gets back home, gets back to their homes, and we see Quad, and she's there with her divorce lawyer, and she's signing the last of the papers. There were some things that Gregory fell short on and he didn't get done, and consequently Quad has to take other avenues. But for the most part, things are, pretty much coming to an end. And she kind of laments over that, and the demise of her marriage, and how she never really thought she would be divorced. No one gets married to get divorced. I love the way Quad carried herself on this trip. I like the way Quad, for the most part, with the exception of how she behaved with Simone at that dinner at the first of the season. I like Quad. I still question why she lets Heavenly get away with so much, and she has a known reputation for cutting people off when they have the slightest infraction, right? But I did get to see a couple of interviews that Quad did and read a couple of vlogs where she talked about how she had to kind of get on Heavenly for saying some things that she said in the confessional that was shady, talking about her businesses, how she went to her and had a conversation about, like, if we're going to be friends, you can't be doing woo 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 woo. And one could argue that is growth. Or one could say, who else do you have this connection with, that you can facilitate at, this storyline of fun and freedom? Dr. Heavenly's a good person to have, because she doesn't really delve too deeply into serious things. She likes to shade and have fun. She's not too off from Mariah. Speaking of Mariah, I mean, we barely heard a good peep out of Mariah on the trip when they were having lunch, and the ladies went to get their lunch, and she took Quad plate and gave it to Aiden, and kind of making a joke about your wife made your plate, since they had did the wife swap thing. And Quad, it was cute, it was fun, but you can just tell that Mariah is so butthurt over the fact that Quad don't want to have nothing to do with her. But my whole point is that it's a lot going on in these friendships and these dynamics, and Quad has to have an anchor friend if she wants to stay on this show. Without an anchor friend, without someone advocating on her behalf, these ladies will boo her off really, really fast. I'm telling you, really, really fast. And Heavenly is that. But still, I give it up to her if she did talk to Heavenly about how Heavenly came out of pocket last week, trying to tell her business and talking about her in confessional. So Shout out to Quad for that. We see Jackie and Curtis, they're at like this home improvement store, but it's like a design store, and she's supposed to meet him there. And she was like 45 minutes late getting there because she had to leave the office, change her clothes, go to a board meeting, and then make her way there. On the way there, she's making calls about surgeries and procedures that she has to perform on her patients, different patients the next day. And Curtis is kind of put off with the fact that she's a little bit late, but he's trying to hold it in the road. Remember, Curtis had a major infraction, and getting Jackie back, he's really, really trying to walk the line. I still stand by what I said, and that is the fact that I think Curtis loves Jackie. I don't think Curtis is in love with Jackie. I felt something when he walked in that place and he saw the young lady that was behind the desk. To me, he came off a little flirty, a little fresh. I mean, it was just something about the energy, the way he was talking to her, the way he was looking at her. He did say his wife was coming and all of that, but it was something there. It was something there. I'm telling you, it was something there. Curtis, I think he loves Jackie. I don't think he's in love with Jackie, and that's just what it is. I don't think they have chemistry at all. And he mentioned to her that he felt like she was slipping back into that place where she was working 24/7 and she really wasn't connecting with him like she should. And she said she was surprised to hear that because she has included him on all of her endeavors, I have included you on all my plans, okay? I have built a fabulous office building. I got the house and I decided to renovate it. I have allowed you to supervise, be project manager over that renovation. If that's not connecting, I don't know what is. Okay, I allowed you to come to my book signing and give me praise and applause. What do you mean we're not connecting? Just because he's present, my dear, does not mean he's connected, all right? Especially when you're always in this work mode, when you're always in supervisor mode. You know what I'm saying? Like, she just doesn't get it, which is why I say Curtis shot himself in his own foot when he decided to bar children, bar her from having children. He shot himself in the foot because she has replaced having a child with work. She has replaced being home and being happy and being content and non-controlling. She has replaced those options, which is what happens when you have a child. You lose control, and you have to be present. You have to be home. She's replaced those things with being controlling, being at work, being in charge, being bossy, you know, and having this kind of godlike complex. Like when she told him, I've included you on everything that I'm doing. I was like, girl, he is not stabbed. That is your man. That is your man. When she hugged him and she kissed him on one side of the cheek and on the other side of the cheek, I was like, girl, if I had this big old tree walking around behind me, you know, you best believe I'll be climbing it every chance I get. But okay. So that's the whole situation. So I'm glad that Curtis is at least speaking up and not going outside of their marriage and acting out. I will say that. But Contessa and Scott, I'm realizing now that Scott is slightly passive aggressive. We see where they put the kids down. What a great therapist. This is after they put the kids down for bed. The therapist comes over. So this is evening time, obviously. And the therapist has come and she's going to have a conversation with them. And she just immediately notices there's this aura of tension. A lot of it is coming from Contessa. Contessa said to Scott before the therapist got there, she said, how did the trip go? How do you think the trip went for you and I, me and you? Like, and he was like, well, you know, I feel like it was good. She was like, really? You thought it was good between you and I? And he was like, well, you know, the therapist is like, what is happening here? And so Scott was like, well, I think she should go back to school. I mean, the kids will have to suffer another year. There it is. When you say that, when you said that, Scott, when you said the kids will have to suffer another year, that is a passive aggressive statement. And Contessa called it. She didn't call it specifically, but she just talked about how it made her feel because she knows it's the trigger. That word suffer is the trigger to get her to realize that this is no bueno for us. You need to be here. You need to be present. He wants her to pick a school in the city. Why she won't do that, I don't know. I feel like that hasn't really been fleshed out for us. Why? I guess the school... I'm sorry, you guys. The school that's in Tennessee, I'm assuming, is a better school. I don't get why she just won't do it here. Obviously, she can't do it here. Like, who would take this route? This combative route? I don't know. But, so that led to the question about, is he talking to the kids, talking against her to the kids? And he's saying, no, he doesn't do that. And Contessa's just like, you know, and then they kind of clipped to him saying a couple of things, which I didn't feel like the stuff that he was saying to the kids was necessarily dragging her, but he was talking against their mother with them. You know, and the oldest daughter knew right away that it wasn't cool what he was doing. So I tend to believe Contessa when she says that. And then when he made that comment about suffer a little bit longer, it was a razor sharp compromise. Here, take this compromise, but you gonna get bloody hands. You gonna get your fingers severed off accepting it. Do you know what I mean? Like, go on back to school. The kids will just have to suffer for another year. So it's like going back to school. Yay, I appreciate that compromise. But the kids will have to suffer. It's like, oh. Yeah, take that compliment, but you gonna eat it. You gonna eat it. You gonna choke on it. You gonna rip your hands to shreds getting it. And that's really what essentially that was. So I was like, okay, Scott has a lot of aggression. He has a lot of animosity. He has a lot of controlling ways when it comes to Contessa. And it comes out in little bitty, teeny, tiny, razor sharp daggers. That's what I'm saying. Y'all tell me what you think. Did you see the episode? Put it down below. Contessa is a ball of anger, and I'm afraid of how it's going to come out. I'm really worried for Contessa and Scott. I know I say it every episode this season, but I'm concerned. I'm concerned about them. I like them a lot. I like that camaraderie they had when they were getting ready to go into competition at the games on the island in Mexico. You know, that's how we first met them, with the boom and the boom, the boom, the boom. And yeah, we got this. You stay ready. You got to get ready. You know, like teamwork, like military, like boom, we tough, we tough, we tough, we tough, we in there. And then you just get to this place where you see that they really, really, really are in trouble. They're having a tough time. Great therapists. It can be worked through. I'm just still concerned about them because somebody's got to let go. Somebody's got to let go of anger and animosity. Somebody's got to let go of passive-aggressive behavior, comments, and that type of thing. You guys tell me what you think. Put it down below. And until next time, honeybees. Mwah, 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 mwah. I holla.